I wake up every morning before my alarm. Another day, I whisper to myself, staring at the cracked ceiling above my rented room. I pull on the same faded shirt and cheap shoes and look at my reflection. You look ordinary, I tell myself. Good. Stay that way. At work, my manager slaps a file on my desk. Finish this fast, he says. People like you don't get many chances. I nod and say, yes, sir, even though my hands already own buildings taller than his pride. During lunch, Hamza drops into the chair across from me. Bro, you eat like you're broke on purpose, he laughs. I just don't like wasting money, I say. He shakes his head. One day you'll learn. Money talks. I smile. I hope love speaks louder. That evening, Aisha calls me. You're late again, she says. I stayed back at work, I reply. She sighs. Sometimes I wish you were more ambitious. I am, I say softly. Just not loudly. She laughs. You're strange, you know that? Maybe, I say. But I'm loyal. When we meet for dinner, the waiter ignores me and hands the menu straight to her. What will madam have? He asks. Aisha glances at me. He'll eat anything cheap, she says, joking. I chuckle, though something twists inside my chest. Water is fine, I tell the waiter. A man at the next table looks at my clothes and smirks. Kids these days, he mutters. I pretend not to hear, but my mind whispers, if you knew who I really was. After dinner, Aisha checks her phone again. My office friends are planning a trip, she says. Luxury resort. You wouldn't fit in. I ask, does that bother you? She hesitates. Sometimes. I nod. I'll try harder. Back home, Hamza texts me. Why do you let people walk over you? I type back because I want to know who stays when I have nothing. He replies, you're crazy. I smile at the screen. Maybe. I sit alone and open an old photo on my phone. My father stands beside me, his hand heavy on my shoulder. Power is loud, he used to say, but character is quiet. I remember, I whisper. Aisha once asked me, why don't you dream big? I wanted to say I already own the dream. Instead I said, I just want peace. At work the next day my manager snaps, don't get comfortable. I answer, I won't. Inside I think comfort is a choice. That night Aisha rests her head on my shoulder. Promise me you'll always be honest, she says. I promise, I reply. She smiles. Good. I hate secrets. My heart beats slower, heavier. So do I. As she sleeps I stare at the dark window. Love me for who I am, I whisper into the silence. Not for what I have. I believe it. I believe her. I believe my secret is safe. I close my eyes, trusting that loyalty will protect me, unaware that everything I trust is already cracking. I notice the change one evening when Aisha says, you're late again, without looking at me. I stayed at work, I reply. She shrugs. Other men stay late too. They still manage to move forward. I force a laugh. You mean richer men? She says nothing, and that silence cuts deeper than words. At dinner she stirs her food and says, Zayn closed another big deal today. Zayn? I ask. My boss, she says. He's only 35 and already drives a car worth more than this apartment. That's impressive, I say. She studies my face. You don't feel insecure? I joke, should I? She smiles, but it feels thin. Maybe ambition is attractive. Days pass and her tone sharpens. Why don't you ask for a raise? She asks. I'm comfortable, I say. She scoffs. Comfort is for people who've given up. I swallow my pride. I haven't. She checks her phone and says, I hope that's true. At work, Hamza notices my mood. You look tired, he says. I'm fine, I reply. He leans closer. Your fiancée doesn't sound supportive lately. She's stressed, I say. He frowns. Don't excuse disrespect. I smile weakly. Love needs patience. One night, Aisha comes home late. Long meeting, she says quickly. With Zayn? I ask. She stiffens. Why are you asking like that? I was just curious, I reply. She sighs. You're imagining things. You always do that when you feel small. Her words sting. I don't feel small, I say. She touches my arm. Good. Then trust me. She starts keeping her phone face down. When I ask, who keeps calling? She laughs. You're paranoid, she says. Is this how little confidence you have? I shake my head. I just care. She replies softly, caring doesn't mean controlling. I apologize even though my chest feels tight. At dinner with her colleagues, Zayn finally appears. He smiles at me and says, "You're Aisha's partner?" "Yes," I answer. He looks me up and down. "She's very talented. Ambitious people inspire me." I nod. "She inspires me too." He chuckles. "That's good. Inspiration matters when resources are limited." Aisha laughs a little too hard. "Zain always jokes like that." On the ride home I say, "He seems confident." She says, "Confidence comes from success." "And money?" I ask. She doesn't answer. She scrolls through her phone instead. Later that week, I hear her whispering in the kitchen. "I can't talk now," she says. "He's here." I freeze. "No, I know," she continues. "He wouldn't understand." My heart pounds. I step closer, unseen. "Just be patient," she says. "I need time." Pause. Then she laughs softly. "Of course I trust you." She ends the call and turns. "Why are you standing there?" "I needed water," I say. She smiles calmly. "See? You scare yourself for nothing." That night I lie awake. I tell myself love means patience. Love means trust. I ignore the voice inside me screaming danger. I close my eyes, pretending the cracks aren't spreading, convincing myself that silence is safer than truth, even as my heart warns me that something precious is slipping away. I push open the restaurant door and hear laughter before I see them. That sounds familiar, I tell myself. Then I see Aisha sitting across from Zain, her fingers wrapped around his hand like it belongs there. My feet stop moving but my eyes refuse to look away. She looks up and freezes. "You're early," she says. "I wasn't invited," I reply. Zain smiles. "Didn't know this was a family meeting." Aisha pulls her hand back slowly. "This isn't what it looks like." I nod. "Then explain it." She sighs, annoyed more than guilty. "Why are you making a scene?" "I'm not," I say. "I'm just standing." Zain leans back. "Relax, man. We were just talking business." I look at their joined menus. "With hands?" Aisha's face hardens. "You wouldn't understand." "Try me," I say. She crosses her arms. Zain offers stability, vision, security, and I don't. I ask. She laughs softly. "You offer effort. That's not the same." Zain adds, "Love doesn't pay bills." "I pay mine," I reply. He chuckles. "On that salary?" People nearby start watching. I feel heat crawl up my neck. Aisha says, "Don't embarrass yourself." "I came for dinner," I say. "Looks like I missed it." She finally looks ashamed, but only for a second. "I chose what makes sense." "So you chose money?" I say. She shrugs. "I chose security." I whisper, "Over me." Zain stands and straightens his jacket. "You should thank me." "For what?" "For showing her what ambition looks like." My hands shake so I shove them into my pockets. "Congratulations," I say. Aisha avoids my eyes. "You'll be fine," she says. "You're used to being average." That word hits harder than the laughter around us. I step back. "I loved you." She replies, "Love isn't enough." Zain smirks. "It never is." I turn and walk out. Each step feels loud. Outside the air feels heavy. "Breathe," I tell myself. "Just breathe." My chest tightens anyway. I lean against the wall and slide down. "How did I miss this?" I whisper. My phone buzzes. I almost ignore it, but the screen shows a familiar number. "Sir," a calm voice says, "the board needs your approval." I laugh bitterly. Bad timing. "There's been a breach," he continues. "Your presence is required." I close my eyes. "I'll handle it." I look back at the restaurant window. I see them laughing again. "Love didn't fail," I say quietly. "Trust did." I stand up, wipe my face and walk away, knowing the life I hid is calling me back, and nothing will ever be the same again. I shut my door and say, "I need silence," even though no one is listening. I sit on the bed and whisper, "Average. Salary. Security." Each word Aisha used circles my head. I tell myself, "Don't react. Think." My phone buzzes but I ignore it. I finally answer when Uncle Kareem calls. "You disappeared," he says. "I needed space," I reply. "You need clarity," he says. "Come see me." In his office he pours tea and asks, "Do you want revenge?" "I want peace," I say. He nods. "Then stop hiding." "I don't want to crush anyone," I tell him. "I want dignity." He leans forward. "Silence can be louder than destruction." I pace the room. "She chose money over me." He corrects me. "She chose what she understood." "So I should forgive?" I ask. You should decide who you are, he replies. I remember Zane's smile. I clench my jaw. I won't expose myself publicly. Kareem smiles. Good. Quiet power lasts longer. What do I do first? I ask. You return to your seat, he says. Without announcing it. That night Hamza calls. You vanished, he says. I'm resetting, I answer. Are you okay? No, I say honestly. He pauses. Do you want to talk? Not yet, I reply. But thank you. I stare at my reflection. You trusted too easily, I tell myself. That ends now. I feel something harden inside me. Not anger. Focus. Kareem introduces me to my team under a different name. This is Mr. Rahman, he says. I shake hands and say, let's review everything. One executive asks, you're very calm. I don't waste words, I reply. Numbers move. Deals shift. I sign papers and say, hold this. Why? Someone asks. Timing, I answer. At home Aisha texts me. We should talk. I reply I'm busy. She sends you're changing. I type I'm learning. Kareem watches me closely. You feel colder, he says. I feel clear, I respond. Don't lose yourself, he warns. I'm finding myself, I say. Days later I attend a board meeting. The room is glass and steel. Voices stop when I sit. Begin, I say. A man presents a report. This affects Zane's division. I nod. Proceed. As the meeting ends, Kareem whispers, she works for this subsidiary. I look at the screen and see Aisha's department listed. She doesn't know? I ask. He smiles. Not yet. I stand and straighten my jacket. Good, I say. Let it stay that way. Inside I feel steady. I didn't choose revenge. I chose control. I walk out knowing I'm standing on my ground now, and no one sees my shadow until I decide to step into the light. I watch the news on my phone and whisper, that's him. Zane's company stumbled again. Mistakes piling up. Poor choices he made when he laughed at people like me. I don't intervene. I just let it happen. Hamza calls. You're quiet lately, he says. I'm observing, I reply. Since when did observing replace talking? Since I learned silence can be louder than words, I say. Aisha messages me, can we talk? I'm worried. I type back slowly, about what? Everything's falling apart. I'm sure you'll figure it out. She doesn't reply for a while. At dinner, Hamza leans across the table. You've changed. Cold. I'm learning, I say. Learning to punish her? He asks. No, I answer. Just learning the cost of trust. The next morning, I visit a client meeting. My instructions are simple. Let Zane's deals fail. The executives notice delays, miscommunications. I stay calm. Adjust accordingly, I tell them. Later, an assistant whispers, Zane's division is bleeding clients. I nod. Expected. Aisha calls me. I don't know what's happening. Change is inevitable, I say. I thought I could rely on him, on you, she says. You relied on what you understood, I reply. Her panic seeps through the line. I made mistakes, she whispers. Everyone does, I say. But not like this, she insists. Then learn, I answer quietly. Hamza texts, are you enjoying this? I'm not, I reply. I'm observing. But it's cruel. Truth isn't always gentle, I type back. I hear her voice trembling over another call. I can't manage this without you. You don't need me, I say. You need clarity. Her silence is heavy. Then, I thought you'd always forgive. I always forgive mistakes, I reply, but not ignorance. I pause. My hands shake slightly. Am I cruel? The thought hits me. Hamza notices. You're changing into someone else, he says over coffee. I'm seeing clearly, I reply. Clarity feels cold sometimes. Zane's face flashes across a headline. CEO faces massive losses. I sip my coffee. Justice, I murmur. Not revenge. Just balance. Later Aisha calls again. Can we meet? I ask, why now? Because everything's collapsing, she admits. I remain silent. Where? The old cafe near your office, she says. I hang up and stare out the window. She doesn't know I control the storm, I think. My chest tightens. Do I even feel guilty? Hamza calls once more. You're detached. I'm learning that power doesn't heal pain, I say. It only exposes truth. You've changed, he says disappointed. Maybe, I answer. Or maybe I finally see things as they are. At lunch, my phone buzzes. Aisha, please. I need to see you. I need to explain. I type, we'll talk. I walk outside and let the wind hit my face. She'll see me but not fully. Not yet. I replay every conversation, every laugh, every promise she thought she could break. She doesn't know I orchestrate the unseen balance. I feel a cold clarity settle inside me. This isn't joy. It isn't revenge. It's truth, I tell myself. And truth has a face. I enter the cafe first. She sits there, trembling slightly, holding her phone like it might give her courage. You called me, I say softly. I needed you, she admits. You needed me? I ask, tone flat. Or my intervention? She doesn't answer immediately. Look at me, I say. She finally does. I see panic, fear, regret, all colors of a storm she doesn't yet understand. I lean back. We'll talk, I whisper. But not the way you expect. The air is tense, silent, and heavy with everything we haven't said. I know this meeting will change us both. She doesn't know it yet, but I've already moved. And the storm isn't over. I see her waiting in the cafe, fidgeting with her scarf. You came, she says, voice shaking. I did, I reply. She looks down. Zane, he's losing everything. I don't know what to do. I sip my coffee. And you called me for help? She nods quickly. Please, I need you. Why now? I ask, calm, measured. Because I made a mistake, she admits. A huge one. I lean back. Mistakes are fine. Betrayal is harder to fix. Her eyes widen. You don't get to finish, I say softly. Not yet. She bites her lip. I thought I chose wisely. I thought Zane, he could give me stability. And me? I ask. Her head drops. I didn't think about you. I nod slowly. Honest. That's the first step. She looks up, tears forming. I betrayed you. You did, I interrupt. And you need to understand what that cost you. She swallows. Please. I need guidance. I don't know. I need something. I stare at her. You need truth. She leans forward. Tell me. I'm scared. I place my hand over hers. You should be. She flinches. You will listen first, I say. Then speak. Zane, he's already losing deals, clients, he's blind to reality. I continue, letting the pieces fall slowly. I didn't know, she whispers. I didn't need you to, I answer. I only needed loyalty. Her hands tremble. I thought I loved you. You thought, I reply. That word is important. I pause and watch her cry silently. Aisha, I say gently, there's more you need to see. She looks up. What do you mean? I let a corner of my smile show. I'm not who you thought I was. Her voice falters. What? I've hidden nothing from the world, only from you, I say slowly. She gasps. You're the owner? I nod. The one you mocked, dismissed, and betrayed. That one. Her hands cover her mouth. No, this can't be. I am, I repeat. And you're Zane? He's irrelevant now. Power shifts quietly, Aisha. You should have noticed. Tears stream down her face. I was wrong. I didn't realize. Realization is late, I reply softly. But clarity is still yours. She sobs openly. I betrayed you. I betrayed the only man who really stood above him, above all of them. Yes, I say, calm, steady. And now you see. I don't know how to fix this, she whispers. You don't, I answer. Some things are beyond repair. You will have to live with the truth. Later I leave the cafe and my phone buzzes. Zane's name flashes. You think you can escape me? His voice snarls. I don't think, I say. I know. You're, how? I am everything you underestimated, I reply. And it's too late. There's a pause. Anger, fear, desperation fill the line. This isn't over. It is, I cut in, voice calm. For me it has always been. He hangs up before I can respond. Silence replaces his threats. I walk away. I don't feel triumph. I feel calm. Cold, measured. Every step echoes control. The city hums around me. I glance back once at the cafe. She is still inside, silent, broken, realizing everything. No words. No revenge. Just the weight of truth settling. I breathe. Silence, I murmur. Hurts more than any yell could ever do. And I keep walking, knowing that the shift is complete, and the world I control now stands untouched by their mistakes. I hear about Zayn first from a news alert. CEO steps down amid scandal. I sip my coffee calmly. Hamza peeks at my screen. He's done? His empire is collapsing, I reply. Wow, he says. That escalated fast. I shrug. Not my doing. Aisha texts me. I don't know what to do. I type, then do nothing. Let them fall. But you need clarity, not me. I watch her world shrink piece by piece. Zayn's name disappears from headlines, contracts fail, investors leave. Aisha faces whispers, sideways glances, professional damage by association. I do nothing public. No posts. No celebrations. Silence is louder than shouts. Hamza notices. You're just watching? Yes, I say. I've learned that consequences speak better than threats. Feels cold, he mutters. It is, I reply. But clarity is cold too. I receive an envelope at my office. My name is written in her familiar, flowing handwriting. I open it carefully. Inside, pages upon pages spill out her regret. I was wrong. I betrayed you. I never realized. Please forgive me. I read each line slowly. I whisper to myself, she thinks this will fix it. I fold the letter carefully, placing it in my drawer without a reply. Silence. That is my answer. Aisha calls later. Did you get my letter? I did, I say. It's noted. Why don't you answer? Because silence can be louder than words, I reply. I just want to make things right. You cannot, I say calmly. Not everything can be fixed. I think of Zayn. His face in the paper, furious, defeated. The man who mocked me, humiliated me, is now reduced to whispers. I feel no joy, no triumph. Only the quiet understanding that the world corrects itself when given space. Hamza notices my calm. You're different, he says. I'm aware, I reply. Anger is a fire. Acceptance is a shield. Do you even feel revenge? No, I answer. Revenge isn't about destroying them. It's about surviving them. Aisha calls again, voice trembling. I thought we could rebuild. Please, I miss what we had. I take a deep breath. I'm at peace, I say. You're cold. I'm clear, I correct. Clarity isn't cruel. It's necessary. I sit in my office late looking at the city lights. The skyline is unchanged. My life stabilizes. My empire, my work, my decisions, all intact. Their worlds shrink while mine holds steady. The contrast is not satisfying, it's inevitable. Hamza watches me. You're letting her suffer silently. Yes, I say. She has to live with truth, not with my fury. You're merciless. I'm not, I answer. I'm merciful. Mercy is letting them face themselves without interference. Later I find another note she slipped under my door. I'm sorry for everything. I never meant to. I read it. I place it beside the first. I do not reply. I whisper to myself, peace is stronger than revenge. Acceptance stronger than anger. Love, when it betrays, teaches survival. I close my eyes. I feel no longing for reunion. No desire to reclaim what was lost. The lesson is simple. Surviving the storm matters more than punishing the storm's cause. Hamza sighs. You're untouchable. I'm just alive, I reply. And I'm choosing life over fury. He shakes his head. You're impossible. I'm focused, I say. Outside the city hums. I leave my office and step into the night. I do not glance back. Aisha's regrets, Zayn's downfall, they exist but I do not carry them. I only carry myself. My calm, my clarity, my survival. Silence follows me. I breathe deeply. I choose peace. I choose control. I choose to live beyond their errors. And for the first time I am free. I walk along the quiet riverbank, the same one I used to visit when the world felt smaller. I used to sit here and think about dreams, I whisper to myself. The water moves slowly, reflecting the city lights. Come. Silent. Honest. Hamza calls. You're back. I am, I say. You seem different. I am, I reply. I've stopped hiding. People notice? I don't care, I answer. I see a bench ahead and sit. Funny, I murmur, how a place can remind you of who you were before love broke you. Hamza laughs softly. You talk to yourself too much. I talk to the part of me that survived, I say. It listens. I remember Aisha's face when she realized the truth. Zayn's desperate calls. The chaos they thought would reach me. I smile faintly. They taught me more than I expected. I take out my phone and see a message from Aisha. I hope you are well. I type back slowly, I am. No more explanations. No more anger. Silence, measured and controlled. A woman jogs past, waving at Hamza. He waves back. You ever think about going back to them? No, I say. Going back isn't my style. Not even for closure? Closure is inside, I reply. Not given by others. I lean back on the bench. I've been blind, I admit aloud. Blind in trust, blind in silence, blind in fear of being known. You've changed, Hamza says quietly. Yes, I answer. I've learned the hard way. I watch the river flow. I used to think revenge was power, I whisper. It isn't. Power is surviving. Power is calm. Power is untouchable. A stray paper drifts by, floating on the water. I pick it up and see nothing meaningful, just random words. Even the small things move on, I say. Hamza nods. You're philosophical tonight. Philosophical, I repeat, or honest. A jogger stops and asks, do you come here often? I smile faintly. I come when I need clarity. She nods. It's peaceful. Yes, I say. It reminds me who I am, not who others think I am. I close my eyes for a moment. The city hum fades. I hear my own heartbeat steady. I no longer chase validation, I whisper. No applause, no recognition, no approval. Just me. Hamza sits beside me. And your life? My life is mine, I answer. I don't hide it. I don't flaunt it. I live it quietly, strongly. I think about my flaws, my mistakes, the trust one gave too easily. I've learned, I say softly, that silence can protect, that truth can heal, that strength isn't loud. Strength is knowing your worth without proving it to anyone. A soft breeze brushes my face. I was broken, I admit, but broken isn't the end. It's a lesson, a reminder, a compass pointing to clarity. Hamza leans back, silent. I am untouchable, I whisper. Not by hiding, not by anger, not by revenge. Untouchable because I am calm, I am measured, I am myself. The lights of the city reflect in the water, shimmering but steady. I've returned fully to my life, I say. Changed, yes. Stronger, yes. Grounded, yes. I've walked through fire and found that the only thing that matters is dignity. I stand and stretch. I didn't win by hurting anyone, I say aloud. I won by surviving them, by living beyond their errors, by being untouchable in thought, word, and action. Hamza smiles. And now, I answer, I keep walking. Come, clear, free. I take a last look at the river. The water flows, indifferent, honest, and unstoppable, just like me. And I step forward, leaving the past behind, grounded in strength, dignity, and self-respect.